Guess who's back? Back again. B2's back. Share the video and tell a friend. Hey guys, B2, welcome to another very exciting episode of Clicker Heroes. And we are going to put a fork in the whole Idle Spec thing, because I've been getting tons of comments. I've even had some private messages about you should go Idle Spec, it's quicker, Idle Spec this, Idle Spec that, you gotta go Idle Spec. Wrong. I don't need an Idle Spec. I understand that Idle is faster for the first few thousand levels of an Ascension. I get it. I understand that. But what happens to the next 10,000 levels while I'm at work? It doesn't go any faster. Whether I finish at 1 p.m. or 4 p.m., I'm still not getting home until 4:30. So it doesn't matter to me. Let's take a look, and I'm going to explain to you why. Transcensions, right? Look at this. 360 hours, which is god-awful. I could even just compare it to the 214 hours, right? And it took me 19 Ascensions to get there. I'm at 12 Ascensions right now at 67 hours, and I'm already at Q, which means I'm not that far off. Look at that. S was right there. S and Q are right next to each other. Like, it is not going to take me 43 Ascensions to max out at 400 hours or some 360. Does that make sense? Like, I'm on a great pace there. Let me explain to you why. It's been raining yesterday and today. I've been at my computer a lot. I've answered a ton of emails, and I've been able to just play video games. I've played Conflict of War, and so every 15 or 20 minutes, I've been able to get into Clicker Heroes. So here you go, Ascensions. If you take the first Ascension out, which was 34 hours, well, why? It was a Sunday. I had stuff to do. I went to bed overnight, let it go, let it run. But then when I woke up, I got busy on it, right? So I started Sunday morning, and the 24 hours went to Monday morning. But look, I had time to play yesterday because it was raining. 3 hours and 22 minutes, 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, 2 hours and 45. Last night, 9 hours. But look, I went from, look at this. That's 780K, that's 33 million, that's 8 billion, that's 286 billion, that's 1 trillion, that's 86 trillion, and now I'm at 129 little q. What do you think is going to happen on Ascend number 13? I'm going to be way further ahead, and look, it's not going to take me about another hour to get there. I'm already an hour and a half into it, maybe an hour and a half, and I'll be gone. I'm going to go have some dinner with the guys, so it probably is going to be about a 4-hour Ascend. Big whoop, I'll get home. I'll hit the button, I'll ascend again, I'll get up in the morning and I'll ascend again because I'm going to let it run. Now, why doesn't an Idle Spec make sense for that? I'm going to tell you. When I go to work at 7:30 in the morning, I don't get home until 4:30. So I understand, I get it that an Idle Spec will get you the first 5, 6, 7,000 levels quicker. I understand that. Like, I really do. And I've gotten a ton of comments about Idle Spec is better, Idle Spec. Well, you know, I've always said, man, that find a method that works for you, that you like. And Idle Spec is just not for me. So what if I'm going to finish at 1 p.m. versus playing the Idle Auto Clicker Spec and finish at 4 p.m.? Right? The difference in how fast the levels go. I don't get home from work until 4:30. So it doesn't matter. And then when I get home, I'm going to update everything. And then I'm going to ascend at night, and I'm going to set it to go in the morning, and then swap it over so that when I get home the next day at 4:30, I can ascend again. And that's just my rotation that I like. So getting there faster is not going to benefit me unless I can split myself in half and go half to work and half here to play games, right? But you can see when I'm home to play, look at this. I mean, look at these leaps and bounds over here. Like, that's what happens when you're able to sit at your computer. I just can't do that. You know, I can't be here that active. So let's look at the second reason why an Idle Spec does not work for my playstyle. Right here. There are 5 ways you can split your Ancient Souls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I played the 5th. I played the 5th. I need to gain more Hero Souls late game, period, to make my style work for me. When I get home at that 4:30, I need to be at high as a level as I can to get this next Ancient Soul. I have to pump into Borb and Fandoris to raise that number quicker to make up the gap of people that can be home and check their computer every 2 to 3 hours. That's just the reality of it. it is what it is. So I cannot afford to split 30 or 40 Ancient Souls to Xylokill to get an idle bonus that I'm not even working. It doesn't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And putting Ancient Souls into Xylokill for me don't make sense. So I choose to spend those 30, 40, 50 Ancient Souls in the area that's going to help me out, lowering the Ancient cost in chor'gorloth. Look, I only have him level 12. It's 45%. Probably could use him up to about 60, maybe, but it goes by twos. So if I'm going to do that, and chor'gorloth has what's called a diminishing return. That means that I can only take 3% off the remaining percent, off the start percent. You get what I'm saying? So it's only going to take 3% off of what remains. So if I only have 50% left, it's going to take off 1.5% because it subtracts it from the original. So I'm only going to be getting 1.5% off the cost. That's a fact, to a maximum level of 150. So how many of these do you have to place before it becomes just ridiculous and you can't, right? This, spending 12 Ancient Souls on this to get to 0.6, I mean 12 per level, 13 now, but last level was 12. Like to get a 0.5% on Transcendent Power. So there's a time and a place for Fandoris, and spending 13 Ancient Souls on a 0.5% makes no sense. Now here's the ratio. At some point, you are not going to be able to get a Borb. Let's say I had 100 Borbs in here, right? 100 Borbs would be 1,000 maximum Primal Soul rewards, right? Then I go and I add 10 Borbs in on the next one. I only got a 10% increase. Whereas if I had 20 Borbs on here and it was a 200% and like 200% maximum Transcendent Primal Soul reward, and I put 10 more Borbs in, that would be a 50% increase. So do you see how the higher you pump into Borb, the lower your returns get? And that's the same for all of them except Fandoris. Fandoris is the exception. Look, percent effectiveness, percent. This is a true 0.5% every time you do it. You get a true 0.5% Transcendent Power additive, and it stacks and stacks and stacks. So Fandoris is an extremely late game ancient that you would want to really invest in, and that's only after you've gotten your Borb and your Pony Boys jacked up. Now Pony Boy, he's great because he takes and he compounds the effectiveness of Solomon. So as soon as you start jacking Solomon up, Pony Boy's going to really throw him through the roof, and that means you get to the early. You get there earlier to you shoot out of the gates and you get max hero souls right away, and that's what's important for early game players. You need to pump Pony Boy up to 40 as quick as you can. You got to do it. And then if you are playing an Idle Spec and that works for you, then you would want to split between those two. Fandoris and Borb are for a little bit when you get up into higher levels, and so I think they have a ratio for it. If you want to check Reddit, like they'll tell you exactly what the ratio is. And so I get it. Like those are great ideas to go through and do all this stuff, man. But for me, like where I'm at from now on, the rest of mine gets split between these three guys right here. I'm not going to do an idle bonus, and I don't want to have to respec when I do my transcendence and try to work things out and juggle them. Like I know where I'm at. I know my transcensions work for me. And how do I know? Because right here I'm knocking them out in 3 and 4 hours. When you ascend 3 and 4 times a day, you are going to progress, and you're going to progress fast. So anyway, I really hope that answers the idle spec thing for you guys, and why I choose for me a particular style of play that works for me and my progress. And if you use an idle spec, that's great. I'm not dogging the idle spec, and it has a place for sure, but it's just not a place for me. So anyway, hope you guys have done well. I'm going to do an alternate ending for Donus right now. So for you guys that don't want to see the alternate ending, just go ahead and click on the next video. Preferably the next video in my playlist. But for Donus, here we go. Ready? All right, Donus, you got to click off the video at the same time that I shut the video out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, click. I knew you weren't going to click out. I knew it, and that's why I'm still filming. All right, let's try again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, click. Look, okay, you got to click the video now. You got to click out at the same time. So here we go. Ready? 1,